She already explained that?
I'm just gonna do this
You're gonna
right
explain
now.
it?
Yeah.
Maybe explain it better because I think that's a bit rushed.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm just gonna, because it always takes a bit to go live onto the Instagram. There.
Can I roll this through? Do two things. I'm gonna move this. I got it, don't worry. All these desks were in Ghostbusters. And we'll be giving the desks away in December as well.
Okay. So,
For some reason, there was a
Oh,
scene when the
this is-
kids were all in a school.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, thank you for that lid. The one with the young people, the young Ghostbusters. Huh.
okay. Oh, sugar. So, it's a lot. I'll get him to fix it. I'm not good at this. The camera's like just barely, I'm in the screen. Okay, so we are live to YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And we're Rumble House Live Art. So if we could all take a moment, and I think it will, yeah, it's good. It is there, and the still of my face is always great and hilarious. If you could just hit share, the more people can see the art, the more can see.
The more we hit the share button, the happier I'll be.
I can't.
And your friends will be my friends. What's happening?
Well, I kind of lifted up so it would be showing up, but I think I did okay.
What are you saying?
I don't know.
Use your words. You want
If
it
you
to
need
zoom
to-
out? You want more light?
No,
What do
I
you tell me?
think it's okay.
I
I
can't,
kinda-
it's with which the rocks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so here's how it goes. I'm going to show a piece of work, and then we are going to, I'll show you the end, talk about the minimum bid. Half the sale goes to the artist, and half the sale goes to the house just to pay rent. I will start with Theo. So this is a piece by Theo. This is from 2003. There's a couple of these ones from 2003. He has matted them so beautifully. This one's from 2003 and this one's from 2002. So I'm going to try to go between showing you guys at home and showing people here. So people at home and shy people alike can text 403-629-7424 to
That's
bid.
403-629-7424. 403-629-7424.
So,
Call now for a free set of signals.
these small ones are so beautiful. These are opening at $20 each. So they're really lovely. My mom has a whole wall where like a skinny wall, but she stacked them all vertical. They're really lovely. So Theo's watercolor ink, and his use of translucent and opaque materials is so beautiful. So these are opening 20 by Theo. And I think Rich has his phone there, so we should hear the ding.
Ding ding.
Then these ones. Oh, this one's from 2001. So it says butt cheeked hill, strange kid peeking out of chimney. So Theo's titles are often
What's the opening bid?
opening 20 for the butt cheeked hill
Butt cheek.
and the strange kid peeking out of the chimney. And this one is a vintage. This one is a vintage Theo from 1993.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. So it's very cool because he's been dropping off pieces that range from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. He kind of goes through his collection and brings us series at a time, which is super fun to see. Kind of like a whole lifetime of art making. So this is opening 20 as well. All right. So that we got.
You look like a movie star on the screen. You know that?
This must be a camera glitch.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So
How come
This-
the camera never glitches like that for me?
you're very sweet.
Thanks.
So this is a photo mounted on aluminum. This is by Scott's Brother. It's opening 60 is super high quality print of an original photo from Washington State. If anyone at home wants to see a closer up, I'm trying to get it without the without the reflection. Yeah, the glare.
It's easy to melt.
Yes, it's ready to hang. It is a Merchant Cafe,
Seattle.
Seattle's oldest restaurant. Easy to mount. There's the piece on the back. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Kelly. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, that's what was missing tonight. Kelly, where were you?
She made a message on the last stream. She's saying she's not feeling very great. Kelly, we hope you're okay.
And I would donate the whole
So
thing
I'll try to.
to you guys.
Oh, that's very kind of you,
Yeah.
Scott. Thank you.
What's the opening bid?
60.
Don't bid on this.
It's a nice one. Yeah.
Can I hold it?
It is really beautiful.
I was wondering if it was from Calgary.
Oh yeah, if you want, you can see it closer up, you guys, because
Hand it around.
Michelle says it is a beauty. It really is.
It's special.
So Awana brought a few beautiful pieces in too. So this is a beautiful, I would say almost like, would you like to talk about it at all?
No,
No,
not today.
not today.
It's so like Japanese, like I get a bit of, I don't know why Japanese.
I was
the
actually-
colors, I think.
Yeah, and I was gonna say like the minimalist quality too, like really clean and like very
I love it.
right.
Mm.
The color, it's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
So opening is 30 for this it's on stretched canvas, and is it
Yes.
acrylic?
Yes.
Yes, beautiful. So people at home, let me know if you would like a closer up view. Yeah. Yeah, that's the power of, I don't know, color and those strokes that you use. It's
I
really,
used the knife
yeah.
for the water.
Mm.
You know, I was surprised how easy it went. Like, you know, and after that, I wanted to do more with it, but it said, no, I'm gonna stop because it's gonna turn ugly and I'm gonna throw it away. So it stayed for lots of months on my wall, and I'm happy to make place for a new one. Let's say that.
So are you saying for a little while you didn't like it and then you hung it on your wall?
No, I liked it, but I'm bored with it, and I need some.
I feel like this is one of the most sophisticated pieces I've seen in here for 6 months.
It's very beautiful. And also, but I think too, the other thing you're saying was you keep it with you for a long time. And we're just talking about that with Jerry. Like you
Yeah.
keep something that's so precious to you too. I think she was saying she could go further, but then she said it told her to stop.
It's
like
so
it was,
hard.
like
It's
that.
so hard to
Yeah.
stop,
Yeah.
especially if it's like your last canvas, right?
Yeah.
Or what happens to me? Like, do you mind if I ask you? And you don't have to answer, but how long would you have spent on this?
Like an hour.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what happens to me is my best work happens in the first 10 minutes. And when I'm just free to do what I want, I do what I want, right? So these pieces on the wall here that I was showing before, these are all pieces I stayed up all night to work on to make for Dr. John. But truth is, I made most of them in an hour or so. I spent, 9 hours like just banging my skills out on different pieces. And then the last hour, I'd put these up and just fire them out, right? So
Yeah,
it's my
but
best work.
It takes you 30-something years to take the knife and do
Yeah.
Do that well.
that brush.
But
Yeah,
here at
that's
Rumble
the hardest
House,
part.
I have
Yeah.
2 hours to fill between 7 o'clock
Yeah.
and 9. So I was like, I don't know how I'll finish in 2 hours. I'm like, I'm gonna have like 12 finished in 2 hours, but I'm not gonna make it look like I'm working because people want to know you suffered, right? And they can't see that 30 years that you spent working on it, right? But they might see the 10 minutes you did it, and they might look at it and go, oh, that looks like it could have been done in an hour. But it's like I totally appreciate the quality of this. What was the opening bid?
30.
I'll bet 30 on this. I would love it.
Oh,
That's lovely. Thank you. I'm going to, here, your phone is here.
I mean, I didn't practice for 30s. Let's get that clear. I avoided it like the plague. So
Yeah.
it was hard to do it, but
What's the longest you went without the art making?
like years.
What's the longest you went, Kendall?
I had a really bad art teacher after I moved, and that
Oh.
honestly after you. Just saying.
I almost didn't make it to the end of that sentence. My whole, like, I'm just teasing you, like, how long did you go without making art? You're like, I had the worst art teacher in the world. Oh, after you. Oh. Literally, I felt the light going out. I was like, no. What did we joke? Was I an okay teacher?
Perfect.
I don't really teach,
Absolutely
eh?
perfect.
I just hand out supplies
Yeah.
and try not to damage you.
And that works.
That's
good.
the trick, right?
Right?
And then people, I remember, actually, this is a funny story, and I think about this all the time. My first year teaching, I had this one really keen student. She was great, but she paid for private art lessons. And I think there was a lot of hand-holding in the private art lessons. This is at Bishop Alberta, like when you were born. I'm kidding, but like a long time ago. And this really super talented student came up. She's like, I want to learn watercolor. I'm like, yeah, it's right over there. She's like, okay. And then she came back like 10 minutes later. She's like, I'm ready to learn watercolor. I'm like, well, pull the paints out. And she's like, okay. And she pulled it. And it happened like, I think she said it to me like 9 times before I realized she was actually expecting me to teach her
Yeah.
how to use watercolor. I'm like, well, you pick up the brush and you dip it in the water.
Yeah.
It's hard. Life is hard. Interpreting people's expectations is hard.
Yeah, and I know there's techniques, and I know the techniques, but I would never abuse somebody by teaching them. Those are the worst parts, you know, like make some mistakes and find out something no one's ever done before. How are you going to do something no one's ever done before if I show you the techniques?
I hope you explain that to her after.
No,
not just that you did-
I'm verbalizing it
right
right
now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is hard.
I've remembered this moment my entire teaching career. 20 years ago, I've been thinking about it. I've never said it out loud before. That's you've never heard this story before?
No.
It's amazing.
It
I
is,
still
yeah.
have stories not to tell you, but
No, it's good.
But the truth is, I never
sure.
spoke it out loud, and
Yeah.
I was actually kind of agitated because, okay, I'm not telling the story honestly enough because I know techniques.
Yes.
I know lots of watercolor techniques.
Yes.
I like to be left alone. And I think she asked me like 12 times, and I honestly didn't know what she was saying. Like, what do you,
Right.
like, I told you 12 times, here's the paper, there's the paint, have at it. You know, I'll tell you if you make a mistake, you know?
Yeah.
And because that's just my whole life is exploring the art. And it took me about 10 or 15 years to realize she wanted me to like hold her hand and show
Walk
her,
her
like,
through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't do that. I did it
Yeah,
today,
everybody's
actually.
different. I know. Just even scared to like, am I putting too much water or
Make a mess, yeah.
And you learn, right? Like you learn very fast if you put too much water.
It's the same way my son wanted to learn to ride a motorcycle, and the first thing I said is, well, you know, you have to crash a motorcycle. Like that's part of like know that you're gonna have to replace the lights and you'll lose some skin on your elbow, and if you don't stretch first, you might be in therapy for a while. But know that part of learning to ride a motorcycle is falling off.
Thanks.
So, the next ones I'm showing is in a series by Oana. So you're starting this last week, right? You started
Yes.
during the last auction.
Oh, that's yours too?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So
cool.
totally different style. People are other people.
Did you share the feed to the Instagram as well?
Yes, and it's live. There you go.
Okay.
So a study of color theory.
What's sketchy when we broadcast to the Instagram is everybody can see that it's broadcasting to the Instagram, but for some reason I have no indication on my Instagram that
Yeah,
it's
mine either.
broadcasting out of my account. Well, can you see it from Instagram?
I don't see the live one, no.
Yeah.
You just hit the profile picture at the top.
So nothing I hit on my phone will
there
tell
it
me
is.
whether
Okay.
I'm broadcasting. So I had this terror of going to the bathroom for like 2 days after the broadcasting. I can't tell if I'm broadcasting.
No, so I'm not too. I don't know how to use Instagram. I guess.
I don't either. That helps. So you have to just click on the profile picture and then
Yes,
it
I
goes.
get it now.
Awesome. So these are opening 30 each or 65 for the set of 3. They're really beautiful.
Can you just
collection.
watch the shine on them?
Yeah.
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 I even sprayed them. I gave them a coat. So
Yeah. They're so beautiful. Yeah, they're really beautiful.
I'm
That's
proud
like-
that I gave the coat. That's what I'm impressed about myself, that I did the last coat.
Also,
That's my favorite part about them.
it's almost like engraved, like the line work is almost like engraving on them too. Do you see? It's kind of like sculptural how you've done that. And
it's
then
mesmerizing watching you speak 1 second ahead of your voice. And you're really pretty.
here we go. All right. So
It's crazy
text.
because you know we're closing.
403.
This is our last year, and we announced it was our last year
7424.
last November. So we're almost coming up on a year's notice, and then there's actually September, October, November, December. We're going to do a Thanksgiving dinner and a Christmas dinner. It will probably be really super packed in the last few weeks, but we have had people kind of like just out of pure survival separating a little bit, like maybe I won't go because they know we're not going to be here forever, and so. I am so used to it this time of the night, just being stressed out. Like, how can I get 10 people to leave before the fire department shows up? And now that we're having these quiet nights, I love it so much. And then Kendall, my former student, came in. I kind of wish he'd seen it when it's like,
Oh, really?
where the wild things are, just people all over the place.
Things being thrown,
Monkeys
screaming.
flinging food,
Yeah, yeah. It is very different, but it's good. It always evolves. Everything changes.
Yeah.
These are from Morgan. So this is one by Morgan, hand stretched canvas. Oh, sorry. Opening $20. Can you see the detail? Yes, there you go.
You're looking into the camera, so you'll know.
Well,
if there's a battery
I couldn't
problem.
see around you.
Can you see the battery?
And this is a beautiful, what do you think? Not quite hydrangea.
Oh, that's zinnia.
Zinnia. Yeah, totally. Thank you.
What did you say?
Zinnia.
Zinnia.
Yeah.
That's my new favorite word.
So opening 20 for this one as well. Again, yeah,
That's actually
acrylic
now
on
the new
canvas.
name of the lion lady in my painting.
oh, I like that.
That's Zinnia.
Oh, there it went. It went off.
I anticipated.
Yeah.
Please don't leave the auction while I change the battery. I used to plug the camera in, but I'm not going to. Now the camera's super. Oh, I know what I could do. I'll just work fast. Somebody, let's do a puppet show. Hey! 2 dead batteries.
Show yours when you get
Okay.
online.
Putting that back
But
to
right
reality.
now, look how satisfying this is.
Nice.
Zach was here earlier and he just dropped off some pieces.
You made it?
Yeah, so he's a glass artist. He said he just pulled this one just yesterday. He said he
Oh.
made this one. The handle's really beautiful. It's like that flatness to it, isn't it? Light.
Oh,
It's so beautiful.
Oh, battery's dead.
Oh.
I put a dead battery in. That sucks.
Oh,
I got
everything
4 batteries. Which
Yeah.
one's charged?
is $10 for this one.
This is battery roulette.
It is fun.
Also,
I
Rich,
know it's so.
do better at charging the batteries.
Thank you, Scott.
If that's somebody telling me the camera's off, I'm gonna snap.
Did he bring other glass pieces?
Yes, yeah. So this
Oh,
Could
with
be.
color as well.
could be a very fancy vase.
Uh-huh.
That's what it reminds me.
It could
Can
be
careful.
a functional
Oh, it's
vase.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lamp. It's just a lamp.
It's
Kendall, you're not buying
Or-
vases tonight.
Yeah, was it repaired or like what's that thing in the center?
It's a bong.
Oh,
No, I mean like I thought.
design feature.
Oh really?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's functional.
It's like a dollop. It's like a dollop.
You never see that. Like
No.
that's cool. Like whoa.
Like so beautiful, yeah, like this dollop of glass.
Yeah.
I wonder what it's for. No, like the detail.
Right, like is it purely design or does it
Does it hold something? No, like, yeah.
Maybe like
Wow, there's 7 people with us and there's no camera.
Oh.
We must be super interesting. Why
maybe
won't the
it can
camera
hold
work?
like a hair elastic. It's very
Please
small.
work,
And
camera.
so, like,
Please work,
who made it?
camera.
Like,
Please
Zach
work,
Cardinal.
camera.
So he was here
Please work,
earlier,
camera.
but he dropped the work off and he had to take off.
That's
so,
working. That's working. Why isn't this
Yeah,
working?
so he's a glass worker here in Calgary. It's so beautiful blue in the light. You could put this in your window windowsill, yeah, and it was so beautiful colors. I like that I'm showing the camera and there it is.
Oh, it's 10 people.
Oh, it's beautiful. We actually got more people without
This is the
us.
story of the barn. Can I hold this?
It's very heavy.
So I am an open-minded artist teacher, and I have no problem with people buying this piece of art. And I personally love functional art. However, I would recommend avoiding using the bong because I'm concerned about the youth of today. And
My brain cells.
well, we have so many people that we know that ended up with the term is marijuana-induced psychosis.
Yeah.
Oh.
And at Rumble House, we've lost 50 people. We lose a human body in our lives every 3 months. Every 3 or 4 months, someone in our lives goes on to the other plane. And we've lost people to old age, we lose people to cancer, and we lose people to psychological problems. And so life and death has been part of our lives since we opened this space. And so I would sell this piece of artwork and encourage you to, use it to drink lots of healthy water. But
That's great.
there's no reason for that to be off. There's another problem happening here.
It says it looks like it was unplugged.
How much is the bomb?
This is starting at 100.
Yeah.
So this is Oh,
I wonder if you put like a little like LED light, like
Oh, yeah.
It'd be a great lamp. I like the way you think.
yeah, I love it.
It'd be a fantastic home place to trap a genie.
So those are by Zach Cardinal, and these are by Brenda. So Brenda is our neighbor across the street. So this is some of her work, and this is opening at 40. And yeah, the color swatches are so gorgeous in this one too. Another one that would look really nice in a window is the light changed. You can see all these almost like eyes that would follow you. So this is, that looks so nice in the picture. So it's $40 opening bid for Brenda's glass.
Can I ask you to glance over there so
Yeah.
you see the difference between this camera and there?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a very nice camera. So that's by Brenda. And I really, okay, now that we have
Okay,
the
so the bong story.
cameras back on.
We had this great evening
Show
one
your
day.
artwork.
Yeah, we had this great evening one day. And actually, I was saying about how some of my grad students, not grad students, but students that had graduated, came back in and we had this amazing day. And Zach made a beautiful piece and he sold the piece. The end of the night, I'm like, who got the bong? And she's like, I think your students did. I'm like, no! And then worse, because they graduated and went off to university. But the younger brother of the student that bought it ended up with, I think the person that bought it ended up giving it to the older sister of a kid that I still taught. And so here he is in high school. He's just leaving for college a couple of years later, and the parents find a bong in the closet. His answer's like, Mr. Tier sold me that. And I'm like, no, that's not what happened. But it's kind of what happened. But
Fine line.
well, and it was so funny because he's like, Mom, I went to university. Like, obviously, if I was going to buy a bong, I would take it with me.
To university, yeah.
But that said, I would encourage people to avoid the pot smoking, and I don't mean to sound like a prude. I just sort of think that we need to be careful with our brains,
we only
I don't remember. You had a couple.
Sekhmet.
Yeah, but you had a couple of.
Seder.
I wanted to say chimeras
Yeah.
tonight popped up, and so I ended up. These are 4 pieces of paper, 2 of 4. I know what 4 means, and this is less than 4. I found 4 pieces of paper that had these wild colors painted on them. I fell magically in love with the colors, and I was totally impressed. And I wondered what genius painted these pieces of paper with these paints, and then slowly I realized I did it. So, but I was like, I kind of remember painting these. And so what had happened was over COVID, I took these nice pieces of paper and I painted them with this nice rough house paint, peeled the corners off. These 4 colors we'd use to paint a mural on our balcony unless you're the building manager of our building. And so I had 4 pieces. I think the other 2 in the other room, right? Did you buy them?
No, not.
Did
I
one of them
wanted
sell?
to buy. One of them sold.
Oh, okay. And then
The
so
other one we have.
so these are different sort of demigods or gods or chimeras or just people that might be in your life. And they kind of ended up in a kind of an imaginary cityscape, I would say. Yeah.
And I like this is the exterior and this is the interior. I
Yeah.
like put there.
That's just one happy family.
Yeah. Well, they don't look very happy, but you can tell they're happy.
You know what they're doing? It's the what?
I don't want them here. Let's
I'm gonna put it here.
No, but those are canning behind too. So let's just.
No,
I want
right
to
there.
put them here.
They're enjoying the Sabbath.
You're resting. Okay.
So we're teachers, and on the first day of school, they take us to church and spend all day in church. And I don't sit still well. But this year, Father Joe, he's just said this thing. Like my parents were Catholic, I was raised Catholic, and everybody makes their own journey through however that's going to go. But in my case, I struggled with sitting still for a while. And Father Joe was talking about how for teachers, August is the Sabbath of the summertime. And my whole life, I always felt like I have such a hard time sitting still. Why would I want to sit still on Sunday? I only got 2 days off. And I realized it just hit me so hard. It's not so much about sitting still, is I need to start treating my Sunday downtime as something that's sacred to my own getting by. Let me ask you this. Does anybody have a hard work week?
Yeah.
We can agree on this?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's how it worked when you're in school. Maybe your work week schedule is different, but Monday sucks. Can we agree on that?
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday still sucks. For me, Wednesday doesn't suck because I do this.
Yeah.
You're going to cut me off, aren't you?
I'm not cutting off. I'm just.
Thursdays suck, right? Friday sucked in the morning. Friday afternoon, you're still working, but you can at least see the weekend coming. So you stop hating your life Friday at about noon, even while you're at work. Friday night comes, you're like, oh, I'm free. Saturday morning comes, nothing's better than Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon is actually better than Saturday morning. Saturday night's even better than Saturday afternoon. You wake up Sunday morning, it's still pretty okay. You hit like noon on Sundays, and you're already hating Monday coming, and you waste half a Sunday dreading Monday coming. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
If you live till you're 70, that's 2 complete days out of 7. It starts Friday afternoon and it ends Sunday. And I've met people that don't love the weekend until Friday evening, and they don't start hating Sunday until Sunday evening, but it's basically 2 days out of 7 that you're happy. If you live till you're 70, that's 50 crappy years and 20 okay years, and that's assuming you never have a bad weekend, right? So I made it this choice in my head that I need to do a better job of enjoying my days. And so when was that? Like 2 weeks ago. And then every time I get stuck in traffic, I'm like, I need to treat this time like a moment that I'm just going to sink into and enjoy. I do worry my metabolism is going to change. Maybe if I start relaxing, I'm going to gain 50 pounds. But I'm almost willing to trade off the anxiety I have Sunday afternoons for. It's just so stupid to waste Sunday when
It's such
you're
a
just
beautiful
worrying
day, I
about
know.
Monday.
I know it is true.
I can't stop.
I can't stop.
Can we show my Mickey Mouse?
Sure you can.
Is that weird?
No.
No.
Okay, it's a difficult one to solve because I don't own the copyright to this. I'm also counting on Disney being too busy to notice I needed it. We ended up with the set to. I'm just gonna crank the lights up for a second. The stage to the Blues Fest. They gave us the stage, and I had about 10. How did you get back there?
I had to leap over 2 bikes. I landed on a stool, and then I did a diddly-do and a pirouette, and
That's
then
so funny because I put these bikes here thinking we just won't turn those lights on tonight.
I can turn them
It's
off.
impossible to get there.
You have to do a pirouette.
I'm about
That's
halfway.
the last move is a pirouette.
Tempted I'm gonna start throwing things. Did you have a stick or something?
No, it
Pass
was.
me that donkey stick there.
What are you?
It's what I can do.
I'm holding
You'll see it
Mickey.
when you see it.
This is so.
I'll hold me.
Thank you so much. Oh gosh. I don't hate you.
Come
I
on
could
now.
have
Run,
done
please.
that for you.
There we go.
Thank
I love
you. Hold this. Help me this. Thank you for your help. Okay,
It's all theater. Okay, ready?
it's good theater.
Oh, I gotta do one more thing. I really apologize. I should not take up this much time.
It's okay.
But I kind of just want to show. Okay, so here's what happened is we had a whole bunch of these giant sheets of wood that were part of the Blues Fest, and I used them all in a movie with like one of the guys from 90210. It needed a back alley, and what I was left over with was this is one sheet, and we're trying to clean up the gallery, so I had this one chance to get rid of this, and I randomly pulled out a jigsaw and I just cut out Mickey Mouse. And Mickey Mouse is a little sketchy because I do not own the copyright. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. So I tend to like to work with black light, and I always do it with the lights on. Can I turn the light off for a second? It's just getting weirder and weirder in here as I go. Hey, I'm gonna turn the lights off for a second, okay? All right. So, for me, the thrill is I work with the black light and I do it completely with my imagination. And then I'll turn the lights out and I get to see what it looks like. So,
We don't see the camera all that though.
what's that?
On the light, we
I
don't see the
know.
body.
Yeah, the people at home, they don't get to see it.
There's a short.
Are you ready though? Here, just put it down. So this is the Mickey, and that's a bunch of my poems written on in the black light.
Oh, it's bones.
And yeah, all the text there come from my poetry book. And then there's 3 levels. There's a daytime Mickey, and you're like, what's that goop on him? And then there's the black light Mickey, and I'd say he's pretty vibrant, hey? And then there's just straight up nighttime glow Mickey.
Every time we turn the lights off here, it's just like Mickey's just looking out for us.
Just
Oh, wait, I
lingering.
hate my. What does it say?
It's really sad, but the one line that really stands out is I hate myself.
Oh.
I think
Poor
there was a
Mickey.
poem about when I was a teenager and how I used to hate myself. I think the line went, I hated myself until I...
And on some days, I like me too. Like
Yeah, yeah.
It's the whole poem.
The
is
poem
really
started out with
beautiful.
me, how I used... does anybody here have those self-loathing moments?
Yes.
Mine's like full time. Oh, and also I had that light on, turned up full blast, and I turned it on. And then that's my Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
You got room on the flight back to Ontario for that? No. Okay.
I have the tabletop Mickey. How much is this Mickey?
I can't even do it with.
It's like you have to have the space, and you have to.
Scott, if you want it, it's a gift.
Wow.
Otherwise, I'm gonna Roleplex it to City Hall.
Right?
I would love to just dangle it out my window because we live in the high rise across the block. It'd be pretty fun.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to do any kind of advertising or anything on our balconies, but I figured if I anchored it right and hung it out the window, they wouldn't be able to tell what window it was hanging from. It'd just be like sort of plastered on the side of the building. Eventually, they figure it out.
Thank you. Yeah.
So pretty.
Okay. So Mickey. Stay.
Mickey is so funny.
I hope it's safe. Okay. Good. That's nice. I was gonna say, do you want to show?
Yeah, okay. So I was watching TV the other day. I don't know if you guys do this, but I tend to paint while I'm watching TV. I kind of just zone out. I don't even really think. This looks like a lady in a dress standing in the forest. I don't know what I was watching that inspired that. It's tiny, so if you want to pass it around. These I do not have high expectations for. They were just me playing around. A grizzly old guy with white hair. A silly motorcycle. I think I'd sell any of these for $5 if you want it. They make nice postcards.
I'm gonna show some
Pass
of
me
your.
them all.
Yeah. Okay.
This one's half done. I didn't get around to putting the pajamas on. Apologize for your eyeballs.
So these are all $5 opening.
Again, not entirely finished. I actually, to tell you the truth, I almost all of it was we'll paint the human form and then put the clothes on separately. This came from figure drawing. We used to do figure drawing on Thursday nights, but we're trying to wind down. trying to cut the cord. Awesome for figure drawing. So basically what happened is most of the figure drawing nights I give my best or second best painting to the model as a gift. Bobby was our first model. We were sitting around on a Wednesday just loving life, and then Wednesday was over and then
This
we're
is my
depressed. So Thursday, the depression hit. We're sitting in the front end of the gorilla house, and I said out loud, we should start modeling on Thursdays. And it wasn't loud enough that anybody could have heard us from the outside. But Bobby walks in, he's like, hey, is this an art gallery? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, do you guys do figure drawing? I was like, whoa. So to me, this is Bobby. Bobby is the most angelic figure in my life, but I really do think Bobby might be somehow related to angels, if that's the thing.
Oh.
I take two
Wow,
of the,
that's wonderful.
I'm not gonna lie, this one's pretty good. I'm kind of
Kudos
surprised I
for-
did that. I'm not really sure how I did it. And
Just
it's,
keep whichever ones you're interested in.
yeah.
Hey, was that a finger painted?
Figure. So
Oh,
yeah, he does use his fingers to
I like
hold
the
the thing.
motorbike in the news.
Here.
actually, if there's one that I don't want to sell, take a look at this one with the yellow face, but I wouldn't mind keeping that one.
Yeah.
Sometimes I look at my paintings and go, I don't know if I know how to do that again.
Here's that.
Yeah,
Was it
the
this
small
one?
ones, like, yeah, this one.
The one you're holding.
And the motorbike.
Perfect.
The one with the yellow face is the one I'd like to. I mean, if you're gonna buy it, have it. But if you're trying to pick between two, I'd rather keep the one with the yellow face.
Keep track.
There's a lot of paintings here. Why do I have so many paintings? Because I guess
you're prolific.
Can't stop.
No, yeah, you shouldn't.
that's called autism. Sorry, is this presumptuous of me to just make you look at them like, here, hold my painting. Maybe you like it.
It's nice.
Oh, this-
What I do find interesting about these is most of these paintings, when I look at them, they drag me exactly back to the moment that I drew them. I like some of them I can't remember making them. I can't remember how I make them.
No.
But I 1000% remember being in the room with the guy that made that.
Yeah, I like
My
that one.
favorite.
Yeah, it's
Is that-
very nice. I agree.
If you want this one,
No, it's your favorite. Right?
it's
Yeah.
my favorite.
It's okay.
If you want it,
I
you
like
can have it. Okay.
No, like,
No, you have it.
yeah. It's, yeah, like I'm just,
Instead of you have it, I want you guys fighting with, I need that! Just kidding.
You should get it.
There was two people that I was friends with a few weeks ago
No, it's-
that's
discussing who was going to get one of my paintings, and I suggested they wrestle for it. And I think I actually hurt their feelings. I wasn't expecting it to go over that way. But just to tell you the truth,
waiting to you guys to transferring.
I would be quite thrilled to see people wrestle over my artworks. If that ever happened.
What did you paint with? Like, is it a
I'll
or-
paint with anything. A lot of
No,
times,
like this one.
Gouache.
gouache or
Oh,
watercolors,
yeah.
sometimes tempera.
Because the gouache has more vibrant color, right?
Yeah.
And very opaque, yeah. Like so,
Opaque.
Yeah. No, vibrant too. No, it's the same. Like.
But you can do these big paintings. A lot of them I did with tempera paint.
Tempera. Yeah.
Oh,
Like that's a $15 piece of wood, and maybe like $1.50 a paint. And then sometimes I do oil paintings. It costs me $300 a paint. But tempera has been around since the Egyptians, and it's we take it for granted because you fight with it when you're in grade 2. You get those hockey pucks in the trays, and you're like, these are no good.
yeah.
But when you learn to fight with them and make them work,
I'm just waiting.
you just kind of got to punch at them for a while, and then the colors start to come out.
Just waiting.
What I like about the temperas is they're so cheap that you can really take risks.
Mhm.
These are my 3 best paintings. They must not have had the heart.
I think they want. Yeah, they couldn't. They couldn't possibly. So, well, if you had any questions, people at home, let us know if you were curious about any.
Where's the phone?
Holy smokes.
Oh.
It's the same lady, I think.
You
Isn't it
recognize her.
Of the figure drawings, there's 4 models. Those are 4 different models.
Okay.
At
But
least.
in general, they end up looking like Jessica.
So,
So nice.
Yeah.
Patty does a lot of upcycling. And so a lot of her a lot of her work has to do with upcycling materials and finding good uses for materials that would otherwise go to waste. So this is actually a weaving of a bag that she made. So there's 2 pockets, inside and outside, and it's the end of bags where she works. She takes the ends and she weaves them together, and it looks like it might be like a rough, like jute, but it's actually very soft weaving. And the opening for this bag is $30.
What is it made of?
It's like plastic bags. So yeah, so she works at Bass Pro.
Oh, yeah,
Bass Pro. Sorry, I was like, oh, you're listening to music. Don't worry.
Do they still have plastic bags?
Yeah, they're the back ends. So we don't have them anymore, but we used to hang them.
Right.
And then you rip
Right,
them
and then you
off,
pull
they're
them
just
off.
Are all the plastic bags gone?
Yeah.
This is so weird because I needed to bring ice to school today.
It's so
And I went to the back, you know that everybody has that one drawer in their house or a basket where they keep all the extra like shopping bags?
Yeah.
And it's always been like a pain, like they collect and then you gotta throw half out and they collect it. And you take them so for granted.
Yeah.
And then this morning was the first time in my life I opened the drawer. I'm like, oh, there's no more. And I guess I didn't keep any. And then I was like, oh, these are gone now. Like, how am I going to bring ice to school without getting my bag wet? And I needed some plastic grocery bags. And
Well, I hoard them, so if you need them, I'll bring them.
So this is a wall hanging that Patty made out of the paper ends of the rolls. So this is like the paper as she wove the paper together and then painted them. Sorry. So this is more of like a decorative piece. Opening is $25 for this piece.
what's that? What's that?
By Patty as well.
Oh, it's like
And
fire.
there's a lovely poem on the back. It's a secret poem. I read it last week, but
Now it's
now it's a secret. $20 opening bid for this piece. Yeah, it's varnished too. These are by Tanner. Tanner was here earlier. This is opening 10. It's acrylic and mixed media, paint pen, aerosol, lots of different materials on canvas panel.
Does it have a name?
He is known as the river bird, and he often paints these beautiful smoky birds, but it doesn't have a name necessarily on it.
Okay, yeah, no, I see the bird now. I didn't see it before.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Oh,
And it's often very like, look, I'll show that all of them. They have the birds in different ways.
mhm.
So some are more skeletal. This one's also $10 opening. I think it's on a mirror. So this one is
Wow.
$10, yes. Yeah.
$10. And what's your name?
Corey.
Corey, thank
Actually,
you.
make it 20. That's amazing.
It's so beautiful, and it has a hanger too, so it's
Oh,
easy
it's
to
awesome.
hang. Yeah, it's super talented. 20. Thank you. So yeah, there we go. And actually, this is kind of cool. There's like 2 hangers on the back, so you can kind of play around with. Is it laying down
Yeah.
here? And very beautiful. And this is the last one here by Tanner. I like how they all have different feelings. This one has more of the greens. There's a huge gathering of magpies in this tree this one day. Kind of reminds me of it. They're all breaking off branches together. There's about 20 of them. Kind of reminds me of this. This is opening 20.
Yeah, they're really cool.
Right? The line work is so beautiful.
Yeah. I'd like to see how he makes them.
Yeah, because he does a lot of the layering, like the building up of the surface behind with the different like sprays with the aerosol and paint markers and acrylic. So it's a lot of layering.
He does a lot of neat work with found objects like buildings,
bridges.
bridges.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
like,
Here,
Integrates into the
landscape.
architecture. $20 for the bird
With green?
with the green background,
Nice.
and $25
Oh, okay. So sorry, quick.
for the skull bird.
So who is this? You text.
It's Sean.
Sean. Okay, so Sean bid 25 on this one. Oops, sorry, this one. And well, actually, are you guys from Ontario? This is funny. Sean's also in Ontario. Yeah, super funny. Actually.
Maybe you could hustle these on the
Yeah.
plane first. Save us some shipping.
I think if he's gonna go through the trouble, he's like. And then
It's actually
Sean.
probably cheaper for us to ship for you if you buy
Yeah.
something.
Sean also bid this one. How much? Sorry. Where's your phone?
Whoa, that's painted on the mirror though.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Isn't
Whoa.
that cool?
Holy smokes.
Oh,
It is
right.
cool.
It's on
Very
Euro. Yeah.
7 years bad luck. Actually, all kidding aside, I'm not superstitious at all, but I did break 7 years of
20.
the worst luck. And I
Bid
remember
20
thinking to
on
myself,
this
oh,
one,
that's 7
and
years is
25
over,
on
and then
this
things
one.
got pretty, yeah, I think I just sabotaged myself because
Mm.
but now I'm like terrified of mirrors.
I broke too many years.
Now I'm worried.
Good luck.
To write these things down. I didn't. It took me like a week to realize I didn't write everything down.
As soon as school starts, I have nightmare dreams. Like one of my dreams is that, well, one of the dreams I have all the time is that I don't have a home to live in, and I'm like driving around trying to like convince my friends to let me stay in their house. And there's this other dream I always have that I'm coming back from Vancouver and I don't have pants, and I need to get on this train and then an airplane, and I don't have my passport, but I also don't have pants. And I'm pretty sure what class I'm teaching when I get back, but I know I'm going to get back just in time for the bell. And somewhere I have to find a way to get pants on before I go teach. And I have these nightmares like one after the other. They always seem like slightly different. Like if it was a TV show, you wouldn't know it was the same show, only it's always the same story. And then so last night, Jess wakes up a little before me and she ends up making breakfast because she likes a little bit of alone time, and then she'll wake me up and I'm just like wrecked. But it's because I spent all night like fighting for pants on a C train.
So you have to
She
wake
looks-
up to get rest.
She looks so rested in the morning, but I'm just wrecked.
Sorry, I found one more by Tanner. Also nice metallic.
Mm.
Also opening at 20.
Super tired, but I'm afraid to go to sleep because I have such awful dreams.
Yeah, today I was doing my laundry and then I'm like, oh shoot, I have to wash these pants too. So then I actually used this dress shirt as like I made like a Scottish
Kilt?
kilt. Yeah, I was like, okay, you know.
You gotta do what you gotta
those
do.
are bad feelings though. When you're feeling exposed, it's the worst, right?
Yeah.
And like you're wearing more clothes than you would at the beach, but it just feels like it could fall off. And I understand that feeling that it's like there's a difference between choosing to just go out in shorts and only having shorts, right? I remember
The
I was
choice,
in a sticky situation and I ran out of the house in my boxer shorts, and I had nowhere to go, and all I had was boxer shorts. And I was looking down, going, "You'd never know these weren't beach shorts."
Yeah.
But like, actually, that happened. I was trapped outside with no pants on once.
See? We're uncovering past traumas. Thank you for being a part of this, everyone.
I just had this crazy
These-
roommate, and I had to vacate, and I wasn't ready to go. And I was like, like going down the back alleys trying to stay out. I didn't want to get sunburned either.
These are by Alana. They're $10 opening bid for these lovely pours. I find them very floral,
Yeah.
right? Like I see an orchid or iris out of this one. I always see it iris. And, and this one I kind of think a seahorse or dragon.
That bottom one looks like two people kissing,
Oh,
doesn't it?
we
It
are in
does.
therapy.
That's for sure.
Do you have
So
stucco
beautiful.
on your roof, like those little
Oh yeah.
things, and when you stretch up and touch it, they break off? Do you have a little stucco? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
How many people here have stucco on the roof? Do you look up and see pictures in the stucco?
Yes.
If the light's right, yeah.
Yeah, like there's an ape that lives over my bed.
Yeah.
And it's not like a one-time thing. It's not like cloud watching. It's like the pattern of the stucco. I swear the guy that did our roof is like an artist and he put an ape right
That's
over it.
interesting because mine's usually a one-time thing. Like if I look at it, just
No, there's a full-time ape that lives over top of my stuff. And if you move your head an inch, all the stucco shifts into different patterns, but I always see this ape.
That's interesting.
Unless the problem isn't the stucco.
These are by
The problem
Morgan,
might be within.
and
It's really beautiful.
his aunt does this. It's like a folk art style with the paintbrush technique, and so Morgan kind of learned from his aunt. So these very beautiful folk art. Lovely. Opening 10 each for these.
Or $1 million.
Or whatever you feel like.
You can just put it on your Christmas tree, and there you go.
Like lights, yeah.
Now is a really great time of year, especially if the auctions are slow like this.
Yeah.
Pick up some pieces and start identifying who in your family you might have got a gift for. And what Jess and I used to do, we don't do this much anymore, is we would throughout the year collect art pieces for people in our family. So a beautiful piece would come out and like, oh, I'll buy that for my independent. The only problem is we had a tendency to forget who bought it. So we knew that Rich or Jess bought this piece. Christmas would come. We'd have 25 paintings and 50 people to give them to. And we each had each painting, like, oh, I'll give this to my independent, I'll give this to my sister, I'll give this to my mom. And then she's like, I'm giving this to my cousin and this to Jason. And like, we'd have it in our brains that we.
And then it would be like a fisticuffs
It got-
before we went to Christmas dinner because we're like, I was gonna give that.
It would get-
to Daddy. I was gonna give that
It
to
would get really
Mary."
tense, She's not telling the truth. There was never any fisticuffs.
Just kidding.
Yeah, but don't say that.
Oh, sorry. I was saying don't say that. We would just laugh funny to each other.